the heart of Savannah, where history and legend intertwine like the branches of ancient trees. There exists a world unseen by the ordinary eye. Here, the past refuses to stay buried, and the night is alive with secrets. Welcome to a city where the veil between the living and the dead is as thin as the morning fog, where creatures of legend walk among us, hidden in plain sight, and ancient pacts still hold sway over the living and the supernatural alike. From the restless spirits that roam the old plantations to the mythical beings lurking in the shadows of the city's winding alleys, Savannah is a place where every street corner hides a tale, and every nightfall brings a new chapter in a story as old as the city itself. This is the story of Savannah's secrets, where the supernatural is not just a whisper in the wind, but a pulse that beats through the very soul of this haunted city. Are you ready to uncover the truth? Welcome to Mythic Savannah.
Okie doke, we're back and we're live once again, this time on an Independence Day game. So it sounds like we had a little bit of miscommunication with some of our folks. Others are either taking a break or they are back in the woods, I think, with their family. I'm looking at you, Abby. I think it's what she's doing. I can't remember.
You are not looking at her because she's not here. She's
That's not true. I have a picture of her character in front of me, so I'm kind of looking at her.
Oh, that sounds a little creepy. Almost like a ghost.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, everybody can ignore Brittany for the time being. She's a little saucy. She's had a busy day. So been out in the heat a bit too long, probably. So if we can get somebody to do a game recap real quick, we will get started.
Like me?
Yeah. Yes, like you. You are a player. That is true.
All right, can I ignore my game recap?
No, of course not. I'm not
Okay.
going to ignore your game.
Last time. Oh yeah, I forgot all about all this stuff. So Sly goes to see Cade in his bungalow at the plantation to see how he's doing. Cade is struggling to feel his place and doesn't feel unified. He worries about Petra and her son being affiliated with hunters. We need to meet up at Nos and hash things out. Petra mentions she may have a job for us as well. So essentially we meet up and kind of have a come to Jesus moment, kind of airing out all of our dirty laundry, talking about our alliances and who we are and what we're doing and what secrets we have that may affect the group down the line. Do you want me to go into more detail on that?
No, you don't have to.
Check out our previous game.
Good plug.
All right. So at the end of that, oh yeah, we find out Charlotte is a mummy. Dun dun dun. We are invited to visit the Hegemony, a hotel sort of place in Tucson, Arizona.
Spoken like a true Arizonian.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is run by another mummy called Aaliyah. Kate informs us there has been a string of missing persons on the news recently, focused near a defunct hotel called the Big Lodge. It's a random mix of demographic. We go out to a manor. Let's see, skip back a little bit. Petra explains that the shifters are looking for a house closer to their cairn, and one property they're looking at seems to be haunted, so she volunteered Nos to go investigate. So when we get out there, homeowner is named Robert Davis. He sets out some strawberry lemonade for, I can skip that part. He says there was one time where the chairs were all piled up. No, that's my dinner. Shadow. He's seen eyes about person height in the glass door from outside. He's heard flintlock gunshots from the trees. So we check around the house. Charlotte, Cade, and Joe go outside and look around. Petra and Sly are inside. Petra attempts to speak to the entity inside. It turns on the hot water to steam up the kitchen window and spells, "Get out!" It also flings a frying pan at Petra. Charlotte attempts to talk to it, asking it why it wants us to get out, and she works a spell to summon the dead. So that's where we left off. Shadow, do I have to banish you? I hate to do that. I just
You may have to. So why don't we go ahead before we start game and go ahead and roll for XP? So if somebody wants to do that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, who wants to do it?
I can do that. What's it? D4?
1d4 plus 1.
Okay. Gotta use the different roller. Okay.
No whammies. No whammies.
Total of 3.
Oh, that looks different. Okay.
Yeah, the other one that I tried to, like the very basic one, didn't work.
3.
Oh, is the Zamisi pot down or something?
Seems like it.
No, it should still be there.
Let me try it. I'm not. This is not the roll. I just wanted to see. +1. This is normal. It is down. Because the application didn't respond.
Oh, because it's MM.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was just using the very basic die roller. That one didn't.
Oh yeah, yeah. The dice parts. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Okay, I see. It still looks a little different, actually.
Right.
The format. Okay. Okay, cool. So 3, yay. Right. Better than nothing.
Okay, dope. So go ahead and make sure that gets marked down. Everybody got 3 XP.
Right.
And we are right in the middle of a scene. So, as since Abby is not here, she works that voodoo that she do so well, and summons the spirit. You can see that the from the because we left off literally in the middle of a scene. The faucet is still going, and it was kicking off steam coming up and had steamed the window, which is of course still kind of showing the phrase "get out." It's getting a little foggy in here from all the steam. It's almost as if it's getting magnified. And in the steam, you actually make out a shape now that she has finished her spell.
Can I use aura perception?
Sure.
Perception and empathy.
Yep.
Empathy, yeah. Difficulty 8.
Botch -2. Starting the game off right.
Wow. Yes, you
Wow.
are. So you try to stare.
And I don't have a reroll.
You try to stare with your. You have the glasses?
I have a ring.
Ring, okay. So you kind of focus intently, trying to see whatever it is that you can see, and there's a sharp pain that goes through your eyes, and it temporarily blinds you. It's almost as if like it's a sudden migraine, but you can't even see right now. It massively hurts. Those of you who can see.
I'm not in the room, so yeah.
Oh yeah, you're outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Dale.
Yeah.
You see the appearance of a tall, broad-shouldered man who appears to be in his early 50s in the steam. Like the steam is kind of making up this shape. He's wearing what appears to be some sort of scorched overalls, and he has some sort of beat up looking undershirt. His flesh bears visible burn scars across his neck, chest, and arms. His face seems to be intact, but is melted and blistered. Has a melted, blistered texture on the left side.
Okay.
And apparently his mouth is giving the image of like a twisted, permanent grimace of pain and anger.
Wow. Okay.
And like as he shows himself, like steam is actually coming off of him as well.
So then he's seeing this, he's going to look at it and just say, "We're not here to hurt you. We're not here to bother you. We're here to help you. Do you understand?"
Why don't you roll charisma and leadership?
Okay. Would his angelic aura merit come into play to decrease the difficulty?
That's a great question. Is that something you want to try and manifest in front of the
Interesting.
normies?
I guess not. Does that have to be done when he's in his form? Then it doesn't happen like when he's just his sly self.
If I recall correctly, there's a chance something bad can happen almost any time. Kind of like the paradox thing for mage.
Okay.
It's just less so because you're not being quite as obvious about it in your like apocalyptic form as opposed to the apocalyptic form.
Okay.
So, I mean, you have the option. You could certainly go that route, but there is a normie in the room who's freaking out right now.
Right. Yeah. I won't freak him out more. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Then I'll go ahead and try. So that's going to be charisma and expression.
Yes, the charisma and leadership.
Leadership. Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. Two successes.
All right, so he looks around to, to everybody that's there. And, oh, okay. It's hard to tell what exactly he's feeling because the way his face is permanently locked in that kind of expression.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Take a look here. I need to take a look and see what he's got here. Hold on one second. Okay, so as you comment, he roars. By the way, the house owner is freaking out at this point because Charlotte did or said something, and now he actually sees something materialize out of the steam. So he's what he is as Ray would put it, terrified beyond the capacity for rational thought.
Right.
So he's just kind of stuck standing there, and the entity at this point like rages, like you can, it's a tangible anger that you can see, and items from all around the house, like plates, dishes, papers, knives, forks, small picture frames, whatnot, all of a sudden get whipped up like it's in a whirlwind. Like all of a sudden you're in this maelstrom of stuff, and it's getting and it's lashing around at this point, making a lot of noise. Brittany can't even see it happening, so she's going to just unfortunately take the hit. Dale, you have the opportunity to try and duck for cover.
Yeah. So he's actually going to go over to because Petra can probably handle herself to a degree. So he's going to go over to the homeowner who's probably just like kind of stuck there staring at the thing. He's going to try to
he's completely frozen in fear.
Yeah. So he's going to like kind of go over to him and see if he can kind of shield him from some of this stuff and kind of move him further out of the room.
Okay. So you are not in the radius effect, Rachel, but Joe definitely hears this.
The screaming from the entity or whatever.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden a bunch of stuff getting thrown around on the inside, because it's like buckshot. It's like hitting everything in anyone in the radius. So it's like windows, chairs, walls. Like it's a lot of racket all at once.
Okay. Well, Don't know what Cade and Shar are doing, but I'll make my way up to back to the house.
Okay.
As I see the commotion happening, I don't know what I can do, but I will do my best.
All right. So Shar is on the inside. So
I thought Shar and Cade were with me outside.
no, Shar was on the inside because she was casting the spell.
Yeah, she came back inside.
Okay. Sorry, the notes are...
texted her.
Okay.
I texted her and asked if she could help, and
Yeah.
so she came inside.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so she came inside. She ducks down like right below a nearby table to try and avoid, the stuff that's whirling around in the air at this point. Cade can hear that. Cade comes running back in, drawing his weapon, seeing that there are problems. You guys obviously aren't in the mix immediately for the flying debris going everywhere, but you can clearly see it. This apparition that's made itself known through the almost like a spectral image of steam and whatnot. Like it's giving off steam, so it's giving more of a radius, and then of course there's steam coming off from the kitchen sink.
Well, as I make my way in there, do I see the entity?
Yes. It can physically be seen.
Okay.
That's why I was describing the steam.
It's gonna sound, I don't know, probably out like weird. What I really want to do is basically just kind of like march up to it and just scream in its face and yell, "Stop." And if it doesn't, you know what? I have, what is it? I have a discipline or a path rather, that I can use, which is the path of wind and water, where I can basically freeze non-living entities or creatures in their spot.
Sure. Okay. So
I'm going to try that and maybe do an intimidation. I don't know.
So just for brevity's sake, let's all roll for initiative.
Okay.
Dexterity and wits. So add those two together and add 1d10.
And I have a +2 to my initiative. Wait, so... Wait. I'm brain farting. So it's not /R anymore, it's just /MM, or...
No, it's you can do /roll, I think. Space and then 1d10.
Okay. 7, 8, 9.
So 7 for Sly.
Okay, 7.
Okay, it doesn't work for me.
Combining your dex and wits, you only got a 7?
I rolled a 2.
Oof. Okay.
Yeah.
11? Damn, I have a +9 to that, by the way.
Well, that would explain why you got the 11 then.
You rolled a 2.
I know. I rolled a 2. Damn it.
Okay, and Brittany?
12.
Okay.
She rolled higher than 2.
All right.
Somewhere.
So Brittany, you hit recording pause?
That was Shadow.
Yeah.
I don't know how to fix that.
Exit out and come back in?
Do I need to?
Yeah, it literally says recording pause across your screen. Like,
Yes.
we can't even see you.
You're
Okay,
probably
hold on.
going to need to shut down that program
Yeah.
you're using and then restart it, the one that you're having your video go through.
Okay. Yeah, that was On a keyboard. Oh, recording. Okay. How's
There
that?
you go.
Okay, there you go.
There you go. Nice.
Okay. I just have that in the background.
I thought
so
you
I
had
didn't
that thing
know.
over your keyboard where it prevents your cat from being on there. That clear acrylic thing.
That is on my work keyboard.
Oh, well, sounds like you need it for
not my
both.
home keyboard. Yeah, that would be nice. Okay.
Okay, well,
Sorry.
Brittany, now that we've determined the recording is not paused, it is your turn.
Okay. I can't see.
So give me a stamina check. Stamina.
Don't look at me like that.
Penelope.
Fail.
Not a botch.
Wow.
Not a
Zero.
botch.
So
Fail.
you are still suffering from blindness from whatever happened. You can still attempt to act or do something or suggest something, but you are currently blind.
Okay. Can I tell what direction it's coming from?
Well, based on your positioning, it's in front of you in the kitchen. So if it's still there, then it's in front of you somewhere.
I'm going to attempt via necromantier expulsion.
Ooh.
Which costs 1 willpower to initiate, and then I roll manipulation and occult. Difficulty is the ghost's willpower +3, maximum of 10. So I don't know if I can beat that.
Well, let's find out.
Says this is a sustained roll requiring a number of successes equal to twice the ghost's willpower.
So basically, you have to continue rebuking it. It's like the
but only
even
1 willpower.
Even though you haven't seen the movie, it's kind of like Exorcist.
Sure.
The power of Christ compels you, and then you just have to keep doing it until you eventually win.
Dang.
Okay. Yeah. So fire up some Latin.
So difficulty is 9.
Okay. All right, we'll try it. What did I say? Manipulation. And no specialties. 1 success.
Wow.
Could have been 2.
Mm.
All right, that's a start.
Okay, so I am going to give you. You're going to need to write this down because we're going to start getting in character with some of these because they're all Latin. I'm going to give you 4 choices for this particular phrase. Whatever one you choose, write it down. That's what you're going to be saying when you enact this.
Okay.
So you have the formal and commanding version. So this would be, in essence, in Latin, depart unclean spirit and never return. There's more of a biblical or forceful version of this. Go back, evil spirit. I'm going to give you the Latin version, whichever one you choose. There's the direct dismissal. Get out and go away from here, damned soul. Or if you want something that's more ecclesiastical, I adjure you, most wicked spirit, by the name of God, that you cease and depart.
That sounds official.
Yeah, let's go with that last one.
Okay. I will give you that full phrase, and I'm going to put that in the chat here so you can copy it down. Oh, nice. Rachel, you have a fro from 523?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been there forever since then.
Okay. So that is what you are in essence saying in Latin. Adjuro te spiritus nequissimi.
I'm gonna have to actually say this in game.
Yes.
Good luck.
I should have chosen a shorter one.
Yeah.
Well, obviously not right now. You just got it. But I would strongly encourage you to start looking those up.
Okay.
That way, again, it's for it's
Thematic
gameplay purposes. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're supposed to have kind of a Latin flair to your particular incantations that you give. You've already got the one,
Okay.
Deus Vult, or your flaming sword. All right, so then in a very prominent and it says ecclesiastical, but obviously a very commanding voice. Oh, hold on one second. Food is here.
Oh. I can't tell if he's getting ready for Joe to just march up to this evil spirit and just be like, "Stop," or
Right.
something else. That's what she did. She just marched up to him, and when she said that, she was going to freeze the spirit at the same time. So,
Okay.
Where can I put this on my sheet?
there's always a spot.
Yeah, I don't really have that much area for text.
Do you have like a 4-page sheet?
No, just a 2-page.
Maybe time to upgrade if possible.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. And then I got to remember that I have it written down somewhere. Ooh, the fireworks are starting.
Yeah, I've been hearing some
I can't
outside
see,
my
but
window
I can
too.
hear them. Ooh. Ooh.
All right, sorry about that.
All good.
Okay, give me 1 second to get this all switched up here a little bit.
Was it rallies or rings or Wingstop?
Filiberto's,
Oh,
I believe. No, whoops. I got it from Tequera Obregon.
oh,
Taqueria.
so
Oh
Cool.
yeah. Okay.
They're pretty good. I have had their stuff before. Okay, so I left off with you giving your thorough and official rebuke of this spirit. Those of you who have just entered, even though Petra cannot see, her faith is such that the mere presence of her is rebuking this entity, and he is.
And I'm sure I'm clutching my cross.
Yes.
Also.
That's what I was actually getting to
Oh, sorry.
originally. That's fine.
As
when
you
I
were.
got the knock at the door.
Oh,
So, even though she can't see, she's holding her cross up, rebuking this particular spirit, and it is it hasn't backed up much. It's still in the kitchen, but it's actively staying away and now looking around as if to flee. That is Brittany. We are at Rachel.
yeah. Well, I didn't know she was going to be doing that because when you called initiative, I was already coming in, marching
Yeah.
in,
You
essentially.
can still
so
get in its face and
I'm still
and yell.
doing that. Yeah, I'm still like I'm not even noticing her. I see it, and I'm just like, and I see everything flying around. So I'm literally just marching up to it because it's been a hell of a day. Damn it.
Yeah.
And I'm literally yelling like stop at it in its face, essentially. And
Okay.
what I'm doing at the same time, if you'll allow it, because I still haven't fully mastered my Nephilim powers yet, and I think I want this to kind of play a sort of an accidental discovery.
Okay.
I am going to use I'm going to use 2 faith points, and
Uh-oh.
I can freeze non-living objects within
Oh, right.
3 feet of me. So
Yeah.
the I have to roll stamina plus melee versus 5 plus the target strength, max 10. So whatever their stamina, or 5 plus their strength.
5 plus your strength. Okay.
Yes, max 10.
Yeah. 1 second.
It says the more success. I also posted this in our group chat. It says the more successes means more the target that she can freeze, or they
Correct.
can freeze.
So
So it
you
kind
said-
of maybe works down from the bottom
So
way
you
up,
said,
I guess.
So you said 5 plus
5
plus the strength?
plus the target's strength.
So you're looking at an 8.
Okay. So they're rolling 8, and I roll stamina plus melee, but I have bonus to my stamina because of my Nephilim ability. So my stamina is 3, so 4 plus where is it? A melee, which is currently at 2. So 6. I'm gonna do my will for an auto.
Okay. All right.
Yep. And 2 faith points. Mark that off. Okay. So I'm rolling 8. Well, 7 with the auto. Okay. And where's Discord?
well, it's like surround sound fireworks.
Yeah.
I hear them at your house. Shadows walking out the window.
3 with the auto. I don't have a 4 in my stamina, so I don't get the bonus. But yeah, so 3 with the auto.
Okay. So you guys see something new.
I see something new.
Petra
I don't think I see it.
Petra just hears something.
She's like, did it work?
I'm literally just in its face yelling stop. And I didn't realize I could do
stomps
this.
in. Yeah, Joe stomps in, and as she said, she has had a rough week, and in particular today, and she has just had enough of it, and marches right up without any sort of fear in this being's face, and screams at him to stop. And immediately you start seeing the mist stop, and it's frozen quick enough that the mist freezes in place, and so there's a brief moment.
Where it's kind of like a dropple.
Yeah,
effect,
where
I
it just
think.
where
Yeah.
it just kind of frozen and just drops and breaks up into little pieces. Yeah, that's gonna hurt. Even though that's not your intention.
No, it's not. Mostly just I didn't realize it was going to happen, so I'm just playing it like that.
Yeah.
No, 100%. Yeah. Okay. So it ends up freezing in place, and you can actually hear the ice like forming and crackling up, almost as if you were hearing a glacier move nearby, with that kind of tone to it, and it just freezes like completely in place. Pardon me. It does break out, and it rages in pain. And all this is happening in the instant. So it is now Dale's turn.
Okay. Let's see. So he's continuing to move the guy further, like away from the maelstrom stuff and everything that's happening.
Okay.
Trying to get him to like kind of turn away so he's not like witnessing stuff, you know. And while he's doing that, he will exalt and say, "Banish that thing, you two."
Uh-oh.
You go, girls.
Demon Bard given the buff.
That's right. Here we go.
Oh.
And I'll even spend a temporary faith for an auto success in that evocation.
Okay.
And then by myself. I have to roll. That's normal. Okay. Four successes. So both of you will have 4 extra dice on your next roll.
Oh,
Dang.
yikes.
Okay.
That is going to be rough. All right. And it's funny. Everything that's happened to this thing so far has basically all been social. As opposed to, the standard, fisticuffs or swords or whatever have you.
Nice.
Okay, so that it has broken out of the ice. Obviously, Sly is getting the guy who is just completely panicked out of hasn't gotten him completely out of the room yet. But he's almost around the corner, like you're going to the front door. So short of not being in the room, this is about as protected as he could be.
Okay.
You've got a little bit of the hallway and an entertainment stand, like right where you're at. You're not completely out of harm's way, but you're like 2/3.
Okay.
Sort of thing. Like you're pretty close to it. And of course, then you bark at the two women to imbibe them with a sliver of your celestial power. It rages, and where it would have attacked the good little Christian girl, the angry woman who can apparently turn him to ice, which he did not anticipate, is now getting all of the aggro.
Oh yeah, I anticipated that.
Okay. So. Oh.
You know what sucks is I can't do anything else.
1 second. Oh, you know what? I have to look something up. I apologize. Give me 1 moment.
What?
I
You gotta
actually,
look up stuff over like the 12 manuals that we're using for this game.
I know, right?
Weak sauce.
Well, I kind of like it because I have very, very, very rarely ever gotten a chance to use Wraith in a form that wasn't just narrative.
Yeah.
So now I'm getting to actually break out some of their powers, despite the fact that this guy is getting his butt whooped. Oh, what is the power again? There we go. Copy that down. Boop, boop. Weird, weird. I think that's it. No. Here we are. This should be it. Yes? No, that's a faction. Ahaha, here we are. 2. Okay. So, okay, wits and pandemonium. Okay, difficulty. Oh, it doesn't give me a difficulty. It gives you a difficulty if I succeed. Okay, cool. He is attempting to make you dumb.
Okay.
Interesting.
We
It's
had
just going to show you some reality TV.
There you go.
we had something like this in
That would
LARP.
I mean, just show me the local news, frankly.
We had something like this happen in LARP once with a character, and anytime you were going to act, you had to spend an intelligence trait.
Mm.
So, and this particular character was a Bruja, and he had celerity 5. So you can imagine how quickly he became stupid because he was trying to get all of the actions in. So like by the end of the first round, he was more like Dewey from, old cartoons, like, dang, I'm gonna hit him until he got to the point
No,
where
this
he
could
just didn't
hurt.
have anything left.
This definitely backfired, but
We're gonna uninstall English again.
yeah, it might happen. It might happen
no.
in another character.
She suddenly only speaks angelic.
Okay.
Whoa.
So I got successes. So what happens here is after she does that and does her thing, in essence, you're kind of dizzied, like from Street Fighter. You're disoriented.
I don't have any resistance to
No.
counteract it.
No, you actually have to, if you're going to act, like force yourself to focus next round, you have to make an intelligence roll at a difficulty 8. So
Okay.
it's not like you're stuck like that. It's very tough to focus. So you're disoriented, and you're even forgetting where you're at right now and what you're doing. Like everything is just super confusing. And, it's like anything you look at, you have like a weird question about, like, why am I wearing this? Where am I at? Like, what time of day is it? Just like everything is just all running through your head, and you just don't
Why
have
do
any.
my pants not fit?
Yeah, there you go. Nobody told me that my pants or my ass looks so big in these pants.
Yeah.
But that's what's happening to you right now. Okay. Top of the round. Brittany, give me a stamina check again. Let's see if you can get past the searing pain in the back of your head.
Three.
Nice.
Yay.
All right. So you were able to.
Oh, I didn't I didn't use the 4 extra points.
That's true.
Was I supposed to use it for that, or?
It's your next roll, correct?
It's like it needs to be either the next roll or used within the next turn. Otherwise, it fades away.
Okay.
Okay, so you're fine.
Okay.
So you, of course, still have your cross up. You have, for what you believed, successfully rebuked the thing. It is attempting to back away, like trying to keep everybody, at bay. But it is really focused on Joe. And Joe right now, after whatever she did and that authoritative scream that she, bellowed out at him, she is looking like bewildered and confused for some reason. Not hurt, but mentally just like all over the place and super confused.
Okay, I will rebuke it again. Adjuro te spiritus nequissime per nomen Dei ut desinas et dicedas.
Holding up that cross, trying to get that rebuke again. Here's where you add those extra dice.
Okay.
All 4.
Yep.
Which I want to add, she's using a faith-based power with a sliver of celestial power from a fallen angel. Kind of a cool combo, just saying.
Right.
Against a ghost.
Against the ghost. Yeah.
Against a ghost.
Since I have extra dice, I'm not adding a specialty, am I?
No.
No.
Not unless you had it naturally.
I did not. 1 success.
All right.
This might take a while.
So you are continuing, and you can tell. This is actually
I don't
the
have to give you a reroll. I'm sorry.
Oh,
This
it's
is-
okay.
This is the
shoot,
first
I
time.
should have used the willpower on that.
This is the first time,
Okay.
even though you've had this for a while. This is the first time you've actually used it against what you can clearly see as a ghost. Usually when the church encounters these sorts of things, it's usually somebody not mentally right in the head and freaking out and, whatever have you. So to see and feel your faith working in this fashion, very reassuring. Especially after everything that you've gone through up to this point. It's like your faith is real. It's rebuking this thing. It's your presence is forcing it to back away, and it's giving more space between it and Joe. So
Okay.
it can't immediately reach out at her. Which you don't know if it can actually physically touch her, but you don't want to play that game anyways.
Yeah.
So Dale.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Well. Yeah, you know what? He'll just he'll do what he did last time. He's gonna try to finish
Cheer him
getting
on?
this guy out of the way. Cheer him on. You can do it, rah rah sis boom ba. Here we go.
That's what he says every time.
Yeah,
Those are his magic words.
pretty much. This time he won't spend the.
It might work better with the pom-poms, though.
I mean, I would, but I'm pushing a guy away right now.
Yep.
Hands are full.
Okay, I mean,
Yeah.
His hands are full.
excuses.
4 successes again.
Nice. Okay.
Nice.
So keep that in mind, both of you. So you have gotten him. He is out of the room and at the front door at this point. So if you want to get out the front door since nobody's attacking you, you can, and you're out of combat.
Okay. For this, for the moment, yeah, just to make sure that he's safe, nothing else is happening to him. I'll go with him outside.
Okay. Cool. Sorry, I bypassed Joe and I didn't mean to. Joe.
Yep. Yeah, so this guy is now he backed away a little, but I can see he kind of made me dumb a little bit. So I'm kind of looking around for a second. I'm just looking back at him. I'm like, I kind of hiss at him and I bare my teeth. And
Okay.
I am going to kind of I don't know if I could pop claws. I have claws. So I'm gonna just kind of like do this number, and I don't know if I can hit it or whatever. But I'm kind of dumb enough to think that maybe I can swipe at it and think I can do something to
Okay.
it.
Give me an intelligence check. You need at least one success at a difficulty 8.
So it's just straight intelligence or
Yep.
intelligence and okay. I am gonna murder Will Fernato.
Okay.
Because I can. So 4, so I need to 8. Okay. Or 1d10. Oh wait, sorry. Ten, or so 1, so 2 successes. Wait, why am I only rolling intelligence of 1? Or I have 4 in my intelligence. Sorry, hold on. Sorry, 4.
The spell is affecting her in real life. This is a problem.
Yeah.
Can't roll
Yeah,
today,
for
you
real,
have
for
to
real.
dumb.
She's like, I'm trying
okay,
to roll.
so
I'm trying to roll
2.
D6s. It's
Still
not
2.
working.
Still 2.
Okay. Nice.
Okay, so it is hard, and you can only focus on like one thing. But despite everything that's going on right now, you have focused enough to act.
Yeah, and I'm gonna basically just literally rush up to its face again after I yelled stop and it still didn't do it. I'm gonna try to swipe at it. I don't know if I can hit it. I'm just gonna do it because I can.
Sure.
And I'm gonna go and burn my last faith point because I don't know. Again, dumb enough to think I can hit it. And all that just basically gives me is where is it here? It's the path of melee, which basically just gives me an extra die towards my strength checks.
Yeah, for damage.
Yes, for damage.
Okay. Go ahead and roll Dex and Brawl.
Dex Brawl 6. Four.
Nice. Okay. So you swipe at it again in its in its physical form of mist. Obviously, you go straight through it, and you at that point you end up seeing almost it just disincorporates and fades away.
Okay. Do I roll damage at all?
No.
Or I just kind of look around like bewilderingly.
Oh, and you're not under that effect anymore. Your
Okay.
your head is clearing up.
Okay. I'm still looking around like where did it go kind of deal. So, yep. I guess that's it for me.
Sure.
Don't know if I have to roll damage or not.
Nope.
Wow.
Okay.
Woohoo.
I mean, how much physical damage do you think you're going to do to miss?
I don't know. Are my claws supernatural? I don't know.
No, it's fine. So, those of you who are there, obviously, Sly doesn't necessarily see this. He's out, he's out front with the homeowner.
Yep.
Charlotte recovers and looks around, ready to cast something again. Cade is obviously on hand. Doesn't quite know what to make of everything that was going on, but you guys don't see it anymore.
I kind of turn around real quickly after swiping through it with her claws still out. Like, where'd it go? Where'd that asshole go?
Yeah, I'm gonna use aura perception.
Go ahead.
Oh, and this I get a +4 to my roll.
Yes, you do.
So
I didn't even roll that. Okay. I forgot.
failure.
Oh my gosh.
Was it a failure or a botch?
No, just
Failure.
failure. 0.
Gotcha.
Can I give her my reroll?
Nope.
I mean, I have a reroll. Should I spend it?
You can if you'd like.
Okay, I'll go ahead
Out
and
of
spend it.
10.
Yeah, that was lame.
Failure.
3.
Okay. So now you're focused using your ring, and now that your mind is cleared, you're not blinded by mistake and still suffering a little bit of ringing in your head from that sharp pain, but most of it subsided at this point. As you look around, you can still pick up some sort, like it's not, you're not picking up a specific shape, but you are picking up like a energetic sparkle about the house.
So I'll kind of look around and say I think he's gone, but there's something strange about this house still. Do either of you feel anything else?
She kind of looks at you like,
Oh wait,
like
flies out
kind
of
of
the room.
feral
Right?
a little bit of, her claws are still like, what do you mean? Yeah, like, what are you talking about?
There's just some kind of an aura about the house. Can I just kind of do a walkthrough and scan with
Yeah.
aura perception?
Sly, at this point, we're out of combat. You do see, you don't hear anything at this point, and you can hear Petra and Joe trying to talk to one another.
Okay. So then with that, he's going to be like,
The homeowner is still kind of freaking out, but he's like halfway out into his yard at this point. Like,
okay. So he's like, all right. So any activity sounds like it's died down in there. I'm going to head back inside, see what's going on. I'll be right back out here in just a few minutes to update on you what's happening. I know everything we just saw was crazy, but you're safe. Okay, I'll be right back.
he's like, okay. And now he's like focused more on the street, hoping his family doesn't, wind up showing up and, he has to like flag them down, like stay away from the house sort of thing.
Right. So then with that, then he'll walk back to the house and enter and rejoin everybody.
Okay. So Petra at this point she seems to be looking around like intently. And Cade ends up suggesting something. He mentions that don't spirits have like a place or something that they haunt? Is that something we can see?
I'm not sure. I don't know a whole lot about them yet. Do you know anything else that we can go on?
That was my guess.
So I missed what happened. Did we defeat it? What happened to the spirit?
I mean, I kind of froze it for a moment and then was really mad after that. And then it made me, I feel like I got confused for a moment. And then I just swiped at it, and then I don't know, it disappeared. And now she's saying that there's still some sort of weird energy about this place. So I don't know if it's gone and I killed it. Wasn't my intention, but I mean, I don't know.
So with that, after hearing that, Sly is going to use his supernatural awareness to see what he picks up in this area again.
Okay.
Let's see here. Okay.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
And he'll spend a will for an auto too. That, you know what? I do have some rerolls. I'm going to reroll that. That's better. 3 successes.
Okay. So, you are picking up anger.
Okay.
So, a presence. If it's not him, then it's something else. It's a good bet he's probably still around.
Yeah. So he's looking around. He takes a few steps further into the room and he just kind of looks around. And he's like, there's still something here. There's anger here. I can't tell if it's still him or something else lingering. But it doesn't seem like we're quite done yet.
Well, my experience with ghosts are extremely limited to this situation, so I can't really do a whole lot else at this point. I don't know what else to do. I can't freeze it again. I look around, freaking thinking that this guy can hear me at this point.
Can we move to the room where the chairs were all piled up?
Yeah.
Previously, and see if there's some kind of a hot spot there.
Sure. I mean, you're still looking around. Why don't you give me another roll?
I do need to be right back. Sorry.
Fine.
Four.
Wow.
Nice.
Proving.
So you're not picking up anything unusual about the room? You're not picking up anything unusual other than what you've already detected.
Okay.
So that aura that that aura and vibe that you've kind of been looking at encompasses the whole house.
Okay. Maybe if we...
And with that roll, stand corrected. With that roll, you pick up something coming from behind one of the cabinets.
Okay.
Same kind of vibe, but a little bit stronger.
I will go to the cabinet and kind of see if I can look behind it and then say, can someone help me move this?
Sly'll walk over and help out.
Okay. When you open up the cabinet itself, it's got a bunch of dishes and whatnot. Like it's in use.
Oh, I was thinking like a bookcase.
No. So
Okay.
it's got stuff there, but as you're looking, you can tell there's actually something behind it.
Like against the wall?
Maybe.
I'm gonna reach in and see if I can feel anything.
Okay. Give me a wits and alertness check, difficulty 5. At this point, Sly has helped you move some of the stuff in the cabinet out.
3.
Okay. So as you feel back there, the way everything was sitting, you wouldn't have known it to look at it. But it's not like but something is sitting or maybe wedged behind the cabinets.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and oh, you know what? I will pull out a maybe not like my actual sword because it's pretty big, but I'll pull out kukri and see if I can wedge it in there or get out whatever might be stuck or something. Kind of use it as a lever.
Okay. So Sly, she apparently has more up that cardigan.
Yeah. Jeez, do you have an armory in that thing? Like, would there ever be an end to the bladed weapons you could pull from that thing?
That was a very personal question.
I retract the personal question. I'm sorry to offend.
Okay, so this is going to be awkward because this is not what this particular weapon was made for, but it does have a bend. So why don't you give me a dex and why don't you give me a dex and melee check, difficulty 7.
Oh, okay. Three.
All right. So you get it up there. Unfortunately, despite your good roll, there's nothing you can do without damaging the cabinets. So you
Sure.
get.
I hope they weren't antique.
They were old.
They of course they were.
Oh,
Yep. So you wedge it in there, and you can hear the wood snapping a little bit as the blade finds purchase. But thankfully, it has that wedge element to it. So you kind of push it in there, and then of course it pops through. So one of the cabinets is kind of broken. I mean, it's still workable, but the back lining snaps off, which actually gives you the opportunity now to reach back behind it and tear away at the wallpaper that apparently this had been wallpapered over. So actually punching your fingers in past it at this point is not a problem. And you end up pulling it out, and it is an iron skillet.
An iron skillet?
Mm-hmm.
Can I aura percept on the skillet?
It is the iron skillet clearly hasn't been used in ages, and it does have some rust on it.
Is it for sure rust or is it something else?
Rust.
Okay. Aura perception?
Go ahead.
Failure.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn around and like hold it out and be like, I don't know why this was in the wall.
do you sense that in the... Wow.
I mean, I could tell that there was something in there, but now that I've got it, I don't know what I'm looking at.
So, Jerome, how old does this skillet look?
Well,
That is actually a good question because Petra is very familiar with old things and skillets.
It's a perfect intersection of knowledge.
so it does appear to be, I mean, because it's got a lot of dust on it and whatnot. Well, I should say not dust per se, but actual dirt and having been backed up in there for as long as it has.
Yeah.
Why don't you give me a perception and investigations check?
Okay. Two successes.
Okay. So you see that there is a company imprint on the bottom of the pan, and the small year that it has attached to it says 1939.
So when he was looking at that, he's like, made in 1939, thereabouts. That's an old pan just to be laying here. Huh. Can you tell anything else about this pan just by looking at it? Can anybody else look at the pan, sense it?
So, well, you're muted. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say I don't nothing about skillets.
Okay. I will try aura perception again.
Charlotte is able to tell that she can see presumably what Petra saw as well. So there is definitely something significant about this cast iron skillet.
I mean, was it
What
used to kill somebody?
can I? Let's see. Can I do? I don't know. Perception and crafts. Let's see if there's anything significant about this.
It is significant. Sure.
I mean, those are the same stats that I would have for aura perception anyway.
It's difficulty 8.
Well, let's see what I got.
If you had tools, okay. Well, I was going to say if you
If I
had
had
tools,
tools?
it would obviously lower the difficulty.
Oh.
But that would be more like forensic tools.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, I'm pretty sure they have a spatula in the house somewhere. You're
Okay.
welcome.
Yeah.
Here all night.
So as you start looking, this over, obviously you see the rust that Sly had spotted before, but you can see, but rust obviously builds up because something hasn't been cleaned properly, usually left to sit in something liquid, and you can tell that part of this cast iron skillet has something brackish to it. But given the fact it's black, it's hard to make out exactly what it is.
Maybe this is more of an alchemist kind of question, or what's that stuff that they use on TV to see, substances?
It's a good question. Are you finding something strange?
I don't know. Like, it looks like there's some kind of a weird residue on here, but I mean, it's not exactly my wheelhouse. It doesn't look like oil.
Where in the pan? The inside, the outside, the back, the handle?
Outside.
Well, if I were to use that as a weapon, per Joe's idea, I'd hold it by the handle and hit somebody using the back of it.
Yeah.
Could that be blood that you're seeing? Or old fluids from a person that was hit?
Didn't the ghost hit me with a frying pan?
That's a good point. That's the first thing it flung at you, isn't it?
Where did that one go?
Oh, it's in. It got kicked up in the mass
In the whirlwind?
originally, but it's still in the living room.
Maybe we can compare.
It's in part of a pile with like a couple of picture frames and like forks and knives.
Sly goes over and picks it up, brings it back over to the rest, and just kind of put it side by side and compare them. How similar are the two things?
Fairly dissimilar. One is a much more newer copy,
Okay.
and kept in well conditioned and seasoned.
So why would it be in the wall, though?
Well, if somebody murdered somebody and then wanted to hide the murder weapon, they'd shove it somewhere.
Jerome, does the wallpaper? I mean, like, home decor is not really my specialty, but I have been around quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Can I place the era of the wallpaper?
You just got raided by Rolling Nomads. Thanks, guys,
Hey,
Woo!
all right.
and thank you for the follows.
Welcome.
You could certainly take a guess by
sure this
peeling
is
it back
like-
and taking a look at the wallpaper. So why
I
don't
mean,
you?
the
Yeah.
skillet's 1939. I think it's probably within that World War II era. Like,
So why don't you
Three.
give me a intelligence and academics check, difficulty 7.
Okay.
oh my
Botch.
goodness.
Wow. So
Keep it real.
Can I roll?
you sure can.
What is it? Academics and what?
Intelligence and
Intelligence.
academics, difficulty
Intelligence?
7.
Okay, I'm gonna do a will for an auto.
Oh,
Okay.
I should have.
Man.
Shoot, I keep forgetting about that.
Okay.
Woo!
Difficulty 7.
Oh, thanks, Dale.
Yep, should think.
2 with the auto.
Okay. So, you get about 2 seconds to look at it, as Petra was kind of shifting it around a little bit to look as well. And the whole cabinet, that section, comes down. It hits the countertop. The old wood kind of hits, splinters, and then it just shuffles back down, creating a big mess into the kitchen. With any additional plates and fine china and whatnot that just, and of course plastic dishes that they might have been using, all hits the ground as well.
What's left on the wall? Is there an outline of anything
Wow.
aside from the cabinet?
Well, if you've ever seen any construction, usually when you pull cabinets off like that, the old wallpaper's back there.
Yeah.
If they had wallpaper. In this case, they did.
Yeah.
If you had to guess, your guess is about right. It's probably somewhere. It's generic as far as colors are concerned, and it's kind of bland. So if you had to guess, it's probably somewhere in the range of post World War II to maybe early 80s.
That's a range.
It is,
So it's okay.
but it's also very basic. It doesn't. One thing you can tell is it doesn't really carry the odd flair that homes used to have back in the 60s and 70s. You know how you could look at the
yeah, you
interior
could
of a home?
tell kind of an
Yeah,
era.
yeah.
So
You
can
could
I
just be
tell
like,
if it's
oh
more
God, the
50s or
60s threw up in
80s?
here.
Because it seems like a bit jump if I'm excluding the 60s and 70s.
Yes.
You can tell definitely there's a difference. So which era does it lean more towards?
Right now you're not sure, but if you take a sample, I mean, there's already enough damage in here. No one's going to miss a chunk of wallpaper, old wallpaper.
Yeah.
So if you took a sample and you took it to somebody, maybe a designer in town or something, you could probably narrow it down.
Why would I want to do that?
I don't know. Why would you want to do that?
I thought we were just going to figure it out tonight and not have to take things home for homework. So,
Well, there you go.
guys, I mean, this wallpaper seems more like between like between the 50s and like the 80s. It's kind of hard to tell based on the colors. It seems very generic.
What about the ghost? Like he looked like he was in a fire, but his clothes didn't look like 80s.
What does clothes look like? What did his clothes look like? I mean, I don't remember off the top of my head.
He was wearing
He was-
all overalls and a tank top kind of thing.
Scorched overalls, messed up undershirt. He seemed to have
What was his
burn
haircut like?
scars on his neck, chest, and his arms.
Okay.
Wait,
He-
weren't
he-
you
What
he
was
had
his haircut like?
He had a basic short haircut.
It was just a
What?
short, basic haircut.
weren't you like a
Okay, but
firefighter in a past life or something?
That's right.
Is there something that did you get a good look? Is there something that you could glean from his appearance?
Jerome, would any of his wounds suggest that he was like burned in a fire? Like I would think maybe like that one half of his face or something that was all melted.
That would definitely
blistered.
be the first place to start. Yeah.
Okay. Well, one part of his face was melted, blistered. His left side. So that tells me that something happened with him there, but it was very specific to his face, not his entire body. He had the burn marks, but it's hard to tell what that would have come from. Maybe something that hit him.
Was it? I don't know. Was it a stove fire? I mean, he did, point out a. Sorry, fireworks.
Yeah.
He did point out a skillet from the early days, 1939, I think it was, right? And then the wallpaper back here. I mean, I think this guy, this whole situation was from like this, maybe the 50s or the 60s. I don't think it was later than that. So what could have happened to him in that time frame? I mean, what do we know the history of this house?
Yeah, what about
this land?
What about the gunshots that the owner heard from outside? Like, was this maybe a battleground or?
Yeah, so maybe this is like something more historical. Like, what do we know? Like more information on the history of the area? Like, I don't remember us even looking that up.
Jerome, is Quan still here? Not Quan. Yang. Is Yang still here?
No, Yang is not here.
I feel like he knew something about the history of this place. Actually, he's a very good person to ask about history. I'm gonna text him and say, do you know anything about the history of this house / property?
Okay.
Send.
He sends a text back and he says, not specifically. I could look something up though.
Make sure to mention things regarding fires or possible like feuds potentially in this area.
Yeah, I'll text back something about anything about violent occurrences or fires. We think it may be related.
Tell him to and tell him like post-war, maybe mid-war, sort of like between the 40s and like the 60s, 70s time frame, because I feel like that's more specific based on what I'm getting, based on his haircut, the overalls, the skillet age, and all that.
Yeah, I'll text him the dates.
I could be entirely wrong. I'm just throwing shit together.
Okay, well, he texts back. He says, I will see what I can dig up. Just give me a bit.
Text him a picture of this wallpaper.
Okay, I will text a picture of I will take a picture of the skillet and also the wallpaper.
Okay.
And like the hole in the wall and say, this is what we found. We think it is related to the entity.
Okay. And then he texts back to you and he says, didn't that kitchen have cabinets on the wall?
They're down here.
I'll say they weren't as sturdy as we expected.
And so Yang texts. He ends up texting a GIF back to you, and it's of the Ghostbusters in that ritzy hotel, blasting the dining hall, and just shooting up like everything, the cake, the tables, the gorgeous chandelier and whatnot, and walking back out as a total disaster.
Okay, so I'll text back and say, you were going to remodel anyway, right?
I'll do you the favor.
So he
Demo's half done. It's all good.
yeah, so he gives you Angry Cat. And so as you guys are waiting and just at this point Shar and Cade are trying to pick up stuff and just getting away. Homeowner's still outside, thankfully. He ends up texting you back, Petra, and he says, I don't know about the 50s, he says, but I did pick up an old report from the 80s.
What's it say?
Okay, so he just sends you a link that you can pull it up on your phone, since it's a matter of public record.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, there was it's a police report of a death. Somebody by the name of Elijah Barnum, and it was ruled that he died in a kitchen explosion.
Skillet. Maybe he inherited the skillet.
Okay.
And in the report, there, although it wasn't confirmed, there were some comments about Mr. Barnum potentially being abusive to his children.
Ooh.
Does it say anything about the names or other identifying information about his children?
No, because they were minors at the time.
Minors, not minors.
When we
What?
when we saw this house earlier, Yang and I, did we? I can't remember if we asked the owner how long he had lived there.
It never came up.
Okay.
But I mean, who's the current owner?
Out in the front yard.
He's out in the front yard, so
yes, Sly, maybe
ask him.
Could you ask him if he knows anything about this article, and I'll like show them the.
Yeah, who did he buy it from? And
Oh, we have a name. Good. There's power in names. Right, I'll go out and ask him, see what he knows.
Joe, did you guys find anything outside that was worth looking into?
Honestly, no. Because when I heard like all this, the racket going on, that's when I came inside and told this jerk to stop, and didn't know I was going to do that to him, which made him really mad.
That seems new.
You know what? It's been a week, and I just was fed up with all of the ruckus and stuff, and I just wanted it all to stop, and I just channeled a bunch of just irritation and anger at it, and man, I guess it did something. I'll tell you what, though, I couldn't do it again if I tried, because frankly I'm a bit exhausted at this point.
Why don't you and I step outside for a moment and see if anything changed, or
Sure.
if we can pick up on anything else while Sly's talking to the owner.
Okay. So we'll pick up with Sly then. Sly, you step back outside. He's leaning against a tree near the curb of his property at this point.
Okay. Yeah. So walk up to him and say, all right, sir, things have calmed down for the moment. There does still seem to be a presence which we are working on seeing if we can expel it, but need to ask you a few things just to see what you knew about the history of the house. We actually just did a little bit of digging and found the following. And he goes ahead and shows him that report.
Okay. So he's calmed down. He's still very edgy, and has a little bit of a mad scientist look to his hair right now. And he says, well, basically what he gives the background of when they bought the house. They ended up, he and his family bought the house in 91, and it was from the city. The property had sat vacant for some time. He believes some independent contractor came in and did repairs on the house to make it livable again, but they ended up getting it for a fraction of what the market would have cost, because the city was looking to offload it at that point. And he is familiar with that story, but he isn't familiar with the rest of everything else was in there. He just heard that there were rumors that it was some sort of gas leak or something, and the stove that they had there at the time blew up.
Well, that may be at the crux of what's going on. We found a strange type of artifact stuck within a part of your house, a very old cast iron skillet back from 1939, and it has some residue on it we haven't identified. And it may very well be that it's tied to this individual, this Elijah Barnum. That may actually be the individual we just encountered.
So what does that mean?
That means that we are going to have to find a way to actually deal with him specifically. That suggestion I made earlier about perhaps finding a hotel. Any headway on that, perhaps?
Oh yeah, done and done. Especially now.
Right. Yes. Exactly. We may need another day or two to fully figure out what we need to do to actually expel this Mr. Barnum from your property. But rest assured, we're doing our due diligence, working as quickly and as efficiently as we can for you.
Okay. Well, I'm going to make sure my family doesn't come back here then, and I'm going to wait until I get the okay.
Excellent. Let me make sure I have your number here. And he goes ahead and exchanges contact info. And if he didn't get one already, he gives them one of those NOS business cards.
Right.
Each of us has.
Sure. That'll work.
Yeah, he had one from mine, but it was apparently crumbled up in my pocket. So yours might look a little more professional.
Sweet. Okay. All right. So he does that, shakes his hand, then turns and walks back to meet up with the rest. And you two said you were outside now too?
They were. I think you guys went out back though, right?
Yeah, we were going out back.
Oh, okay.
At least that was my intention.
Okay.
So Petra and Joe, give me your checks. If you're doing that aura perception sort of look.
Who should I make it out to?
You should make it out to touch down.
Ooh.
I mean, I'm just rolling perception, I guess.
Don't you have?
What am I rolling for?
Don't you have a belt buckle that allows you to do the aura perception?
Yeah, there you go.
I didn't know that she finished that for me, so I don't have it on my sheet yet.
My understanding is
I told her what I was making, but I never.
My understanding was she did because she actually asked you last game if you were going to be using it.
Yeah.
I forgot. Okay.
So mark it on your sheet.
Forgot. All right. So then Okay, I'm
You
bringing it right now.
have diesel-powered belt buckle
I
that allows you to see
completely
ghosts.
missed that. All right, so
So in essence,
so it just
it's-
has the equivalent properties of aura perception.
Yep. Works exactly the same
Okay.
way. Perception and empathy, difficulty 8.
3 for me.
Nice.
Empathy. Sorry, let me write this down. 8. Okay. Perception, empathy. What is my empathy? No empathy. It's funny.
Why am I not surprised?
Difficulty 8, you said?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Cool. I do have a specialty though.
There you go.
Empathic, nothing. It's a
Shoot.
botch.
No, it's just a fail.
Oh.
Because you got one
well, I have a
excess at least.
specialty. I messed up on the empathetic spelling, but no, that's a botch because I didn't even get a 10.
You have
Maybe I'm
one success at
confused.
least, so therefore it's not going to be a botch. A botch is when you
Right.
get no successes and
I-
at least a single one.
Oh,
Yep.
I thought it was just if you went negative
No.
That was the old
past
way.
your successes in that.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was Vampire version 3.
Yeah.
They changed that when they made the
Forgot.
20th anniversary.
all right. Well, I didn't get anything then.
Okay. So Joe's looking around. It's new to her, so it's probably why she didn't get it. Petra, you're looking around. You're picking up some disembodied shapes, but they're not human-like.
Okay, so maybe like spirits.
Mhm.
Can I tell if there's like a mood to it?
Most of them are carry a curious mood.
Okay.
Like they broke out the spirit popcorn
Yeah.
and they're
How
watching.
often?
Oh,
Yeah. Like how often do you get live people interacting with their kind? You know, in this situation,
Yeah.
like it's a scene. That was a ghost. I'd be doing it too.
I'm just gonna wave to them and did I pick up on the house in general?
But yeah, I mean, when you turn back and look at it, it still has
Yeah,
the same.
so-
Mhm.
Okay.
And then you
Do I
pick up
see any-
pick up on a shape on your shoulder.
Oh,
Oh,
you know who that is.
yeah. It's my little friend. So okay, so nothing further with the house that looks like something that I need to investigate.
Nothing new as of yet. No.
Okay. Then I'll go back inside.
Okay.
I mean, I'll go in with her and kind of just look at the information. So like the report, that you said you gathered.
Yeah.
And so
I'll
I'm
go ahead and
curious.
forward that
This
to
guy,
the
this
group in general.
so this report says that this guy was apparently abusive towards his kids. Do we know what happened to his kids? Like, usually things pass down and stuff. I mean, if this guy died by fire and this place is still standing, I mean, like what happened to the kids?
It's a good question. Maybe we can, I don't know, do some more digging or talk to what is it they do on TV? Like talk to the officer that handled the case and somehow they remember that particular case
mean-
from 40 years ago.
I mean, yeah, this is from the 80s. I mean, I'm most likely that officer is probably retired by now. But I mean, surely they still have record of it. I mean, but we know this
we know
guy's
anyone-
name.
Do we know anyone in the police? They could pull some strings or
Let me look. Hold on. I'm sure I have a contact, but I don't think it's anything high level at the moment. Yeah, I have a 1 dot in police influence, which is
Yeah.
like a dispatcher or something, right, Jerome? Similar.
It means you have a limited amount of pull within the police force.
Oh,
So you could
oh, well,
tap
yeah,
that
different. I'm
resource
so
and
old
see.
school LARP.
Yep. So it means you can tap that resource and see if they can dig up something that may not have been in the official record. Like
I mean,
You know,
cases.
even
I
if we could read the
might.
official record.
I with being within like the mechanical industry that I'm in, I do deal with police on occasion, just for, towing and stuff like that. So I might be able to talk to someone maybe, and maybe if I can get some information, perhaps more on this report. It might take a day or two to get some information, but I mean, if we have that flexibility on time, I mean, I'm game to give it a go.
Yeah, that would be great.
At this point,
Um,
Sly will probably walk up and be like, "All right, so do you two find anything else?"
Nope.
Nothing outside. I mean, I couldn't see anything, but I think I want to do a little bit more digging on like this guy's history on this report. Like this report says that he has, he had kids that he abused, unfortunately, and but what happened to the kids? So I wonder, like, when this explosion report happened, like, where was the mom? Like, who else was involved? Like, I feel like there's stuff that's missing on this report. So, I, being that I deal with like police on occasion, in the industry, the business that I'm in, like, I think I could talk to a couple people, maybe get some more information. I feel like there's some gaps here.
Okay.
I don't know if it's going to help with trying to fix this, but I feel like this report is important with everything here. So what happened to him? Maybe his kids died in this explosion and he feels remorse for it, and maybe he just wants to be set free. Like, but what happened? Like, what happened to his kids?
I don't think
Do
it's
his
remorse.
kids want forgiveness? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
From
if
everything
he
that
was,
we've
go ahead.
from everything that we've picked up so far, clearly he's angry. And from what I
Why?
picked up from the house, he's an angry man as well. We've learned from this report that he regularly abused his children.
That's what I mean. Like,
just-
what happened to his kids?
Why
Like-
does that matter? I don't think that it actually does. I think this is just the way that he was. He was a terrible person who happened to die in a freak accident, and now he's stuck here.
Jerome,
I feel like there's more to it than that.
can
do.
I attempt to ward this place
You can.
with via necromancy?
That is exactly what it's there for.
Okay.
Look, I'm still going to do a little bit of digging, even just for maybe my own peace of mind at this point, because now I'm in this, I'm curious. I've encountered a ghost that I managed to be able to kind of hurt. And that's new for me. So I feel like, to me, this is something worthwhile to follow up on. So, you don't know till you try, and, I'm no worse off than I am now.
That's fine. I just know that it seems like the goal at this point is to make him, Elijah Barnum,
Move on.
leave this place.
Yeah. So
Whatever
maybe
it
there's
takes
some
to do
sort of,
that.
well, so we need to find out, okay, why he's angry. I don't know. Again, maybe it's one of those cliche cases of maybe he wants forgiveness from his kids that he abused so often. I don't know. I'm just guessing here.
Okay, quick pause. Brittany, I have 4 more phrases for you. You may choose.
Okay.
So the first one is, this place is holy and no shade shall enter. The second,
Okay.
this house is fortified with the light of life, no dead shall remain here. The third one, which I have a sense you're probably going to go for this. By the protection of God and holy power, this place is guarded from spirits of the dead. And the last one, I close the gates between the living and the dead, so no shade may cross.
Sure, let's go for number 3.
Okay. So I will give you that phrase
I like three,
and
too.
that statement in Latin. So there you go. That is, you guys end up hearing her begin muttering that in Latin as she is. Essentially, you're going to have to go to any way that allows for entrance. So any door that leads in and out. So you'll have to do that at 3 points.
Okay. Cautionary ritual and the expenditure of a point of willpower, as well as a successful willpower roll, difficulty 7. Third display block race from entering the warded area. Each success indicates 1 week of successful warding. So I have to do this on 3 points.
You do.
Do I need
Actually,
a
wait a
one
minute.
willpower for each one?
Yeah, no, you are going to have to do it to 3 points. And yes, you will.
1 point of willpower for each one?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Okay, but I'm just rolling the.
You're
Okay,
rolling.
So spend a
you're
will,
rolling
but
your,
also rolling willpower.
right. So you're going to, because that's what you have to
Okay,
use
so
to activate it.
Three
So-
willpower rolls.
Yeah, and it's going to obviously lower each time.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So it's current willpower.
Correct.
That's not going to go great.
I mean, you're warding a whole house.
I was
makes
just thinking,
sense.
can I spend a will for an auto?
Yeah. No, unfortunately not.
Okay, so difficulty 6.
Difficulty
Wait,
6.
nope, difficulty 7.
Oh, did it say it's 7? Okay.
It says 7.
Thank you for your honesty.
I mean, it's an old book. Maybe it's got different rules now. Okay, first one is 2.
Okay, that is a success. So the front door at this point, she takes a moment with her holy cross, and you see her take. She has like a little vial of holy water, and it's just kind of giving some spritzes to the door.
2 successes on number 2.
All right. So the back door is the back sliding glass door, the one you guys have been coming in and out of, is now sealed as well.
Nice.
3 successes on that last one. Holy
Look
moly.
out.
Good measure. Bam, bam. There you go.
Hot dang.
At that point, she puts a little seltzer water in with the holy water, shakes up the
She's
vial,
got a little
and just-
flair at this point.
and gives some spray, over it like she's got a hose. Just no, yeah,
A little baking soda and vinegar in there.
so yeah,
Yeah.
you have successfully warded all entry points to the house.
So what was it you just did there, Petra?
Yeah. Figured if I tried to ward this place against wraiths, I think it worked. I haven't really done this before.
Well,
Does it matter if the wraith is already in the house, or does it expel any wraiths in the house to outside of the barrier, or are they trapped inside?
It's supposed to protect the area from ghostly intrusion. It actually doesn't specify whether there is something inside already. It mostly protects them from entering. Jerome, do I know any better?
Why don't you give me an intelligence and occult check? This is one of those gray areas that the church never really specified, because there's very few people who actually have this ability.
4 successes.
Nice.
Oh!
You know, 100%.
So,
Saved my big rolls for the end.
Right.
so looking at this
Not a
scientifically,
fight.
so
but
looking at this scientifically, the wards ideally repel the spirit. So if they're outside, they're staying outside. They can't break through short of finding a way to destroy the ward. If they're inside, in essence, you created a warding circle and they're trapped.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, well, one way or
They can
another,
get in, but they're
he's not
inside
going
trapped. Can't
anywhere.
get out.
Right.
Yeah, that's okay.
So I guess if he's in here, then
Double-edged sword.
we'll find him.
In essence, you've cut off any aggress. If he's still inside, you've cut off any aggress. So
Okay.
there's nowhere for him to run.
Good enough.
Okay. Now we need to know how to fully banish an angry spirit. Do either of you have contacts with anybody who deals with this? Necromancy or spirits or anything?
Not to interrupt again,
mean-
I would like to mention the fact that we're talking about angry spirits, and Dale's TV turned on behind him while he was doing it.
It did. Oh my god.
I was like,
Well,
"Oh,
they
hey,
bleed.
Roku."
What's Shelley's character's name again? Cassandra? Cassie?
So anyway, sorry
well,
to
what
break
about-
that up.
What about Cass? Doesn't she deal with this kind of stuff? Maybe trying to bring her in?
She's a seer. She has been like hounded by spirits recently, but that's
Well,
typically
I
not
know,
her forte.
I know. But this is kind of a specific situation. So I mean, I don't know anybody else,
Sean might
honestly,
be
and I don't want to be going asking some vampires. I don't want to owe any favors on that end. Like, trust me.
Sean is a lot more experienced in this sort of thing than I am. Maybe he can give us some feedback.
Weird.
Can you call him right now?
Yeah. Yeah. Let me do that. So I will call Sean. Hi, baby.
Okay, well, I mean, Sean picks up. He answers the phone. Mom, what's going on?
Hey, I don't want to worry you. Everything seems okay. But we've got a exorcism issue. I wonder if you could advise.
Exorcism? Yeah, that's kind of outside of the realm of don't worry, Mom. What exactly is going on?
Yeah. My friends and I are at a property by the what is it called? Park. Because I don't know. Wait, it's on the game. Wormsloe Park. And there was an entity in this house, and we think it's gone, but there's been a little more to it. I don't know if this is something we should discuss on the phone. Are you free?
I am not. I am about ready to host an AA meeting.
Is there a way to send this guy away permanently? Is that something that you're skilled at?
Sort of. It's not something I've had a lot of practical experience with, given the circumstances. But there should be a way to do so.
Okay, I think everyone is safe for the time being. I think I was able to fortify the home, so it may not be an immediate need, but if we could maybe revisit that soon when you have a little time.
Yeah, why don't you give me about 2 hours, and I will try and clear out the rest of my schedule and text me where you'd like me to meet you.
Yeah, great. I will send you the address. Good luck with your meeting.
Okay, and good luck with the poltergeist or whatever.
Yeah. Thanks. We'll see you when we see you.
Okay, and so he hangs up.
Yeah. So he can't come right now. He's got a window in a couple of hours. We can do some research and then come back to the house and have him meet us here.
Okay.
Yeah,
Anyone else? We can.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's a good idea. I kind of feel like I need to recharge a little bit. And you know what? If I see him again, like I really do feel like I need to be recharged for that because
Yeah, actually, I feel a little bit spent as well.
yeah.
I think some ice cream could do me some good.
Oh, sure. You just eat ice cream and your reserves are replenished. But the rest of us have to do very specific things to replenish what we have.
Well,
Unfair.
I mean, I could use a nap too, but ice cream. You know what they said on Harry Potter: chocolate does a lot to revive your spirits after scary situations.
You
I don't
know,
know.
I'm still
I've
getting
always
used
found
to
ice
ice
cream to be a
cream.
good solution.
I have to understand, I haven't had dairy in like 50 years. So getting used to eating again has been an experience.
Maybe take some lactate first.
I don't even know what that
could help you
is.
with your-
I think she might be made of stronger stuff since her transformation. She probably won't have to worry about that.
Oh, you don't think she's lactose intolerant?
I think she's
it's
probably tolerant to many things now. What she's
it's
capable
been
of.
a transition.
Before
Before I could survive on anything, most of the time I just survived on like the bare necessities, but now I have to find more nutrition and more than just blood. So
okay, what do you people need to recharge? Is there
Go ahead and keep
something
playing.
that
I'll
we
be right
need
back.
to do? Somewhere we
well,
need to go?
sleep for once. I mean, just sustenance with apparently food now.
Okay.
And really, I just need time or talking to people in a specific way. But it's complicated.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
funny enough, I've been spending a little bit more time kind of asking questions and trying to get guidance lately. It's helped a little bit. I was never a religious person, and I don't think I am, but with the changes that I've gone through, it's been enlightening.
Yeah, I bet.
Hard to ignore when it happens to you directly.
Yeah, being a sacrifice kind of tends to do that for you.
So, how is it that you were changed anyway? Like you were not this and now you are this, but like
Yeah, I'm still figuring
theoretically,
it out.
how is it that you weren't like this before? or if it was always a part of you.
So parents were mixed. Like I was considered what's called a damp hair, or the favorite word is abomination. So I
They
mean,
like to throw that one
technically,
around, huh?
yeah, it's a common thing. And my family tree, if you will, was very aristocratic and very uh, conceited in terms of the family line, and even through unlife, the life extended into unlife, just the whole aristocracy of it, and their lack of knowledge unfortunately proved to be too much, and their conceitedness kind of clashed. And so my father was blood. My mother was not technically, but they were married and had us, and they didn't know it could happen. It was an accident. Nobody knew. Nobody knows anything about this. So I figured out that I could survive or be sustained with, but blood or food. I tended to be towards the blood to maintain that sort of appearance. So I never ate a lot of food at all, really, because again, it was part of the whole, we had to maintain that cover. And
Yeah,
while we went on
I can
hiding a
understand
lot,
that.
after we realized, or they realized what was happening, we just maintained that lifestyle. We just were off grid for a long time. But off grid isn't really off grid, I guess, in the modern world. So things caught up. And yeah, so it was been a transition after that, but it kind of stuck to old habits and just kind of kept with the blood. Minimal blood was just what I needed to stay around.
And then maybe, I mean, I guess I could see.
I never tried, like people hate foods and try it periodically again. I never tried food again periodically to see if I still liked it or not. So now that
Sure.
this change has happened, like a month or however long it's been at this point, I've been trying stuff and I haven't usually been, and I kind of have to, because I don't have any cravings for that iron sustenance, if you will,
Sure.
with everything. So
So you were born into that Dampier existence.
Yes.
Well, that explains then why that was overriding your Nephilim heritage. It didn't have a chance to actually break through until the holy light burned away that part.
Yeah. And it burned. It burned. I don't regret it. I think change is good. I had to go through a whole physical change to even get to where I was at before that change. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm still figuring it out. Not mad at it so far.
Good. Excellent.
All right. So, are you still having this conversation at the house? Or have
Yeah.
you left?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess.
After that, then Sly will be like, well, I've talked to the homeowner. He's more or less aware of what we're trying to do. He and his family will be going to a hotel for at least tonight, and I'll be updating him until we can clear the house for him. Hopefully sooner rather than later, obviously.
Oh, yeah. This went in a different direction than I was expecting, for sure. Okay,
I think this is interesting. I'm curious to kind of see the history that goes as far back in a place. Like I've never experienced activity of this kind, so it's an eye opener. Honestly, like knowledge is power, right?
True. And it
Figure
seems
out how to
that with
figure this out,
everything,
and then yeah,
it does seem
But-
that with everything that's happened recently, we'll probably be seeing more of this. Different versions, different intensities. So we'll have to learn from this experience.
maybe, experience means income.
True.
Well, why don't we head back to HQ and take a little rest, and then come back here in a couple hours when Sean can meet us.
Right. Not like he's going anywhere. Elijah, right? You took care of that.
Theoretically.
Have we seen
he's mad at
anything
me.
outside of the house?
I
didn't see anything.
I think
You?
I saw spirits, like not ghosts or wraiths or whatever, but like my little lizard friend. And they
Curious?
seemed just interested in what was happening at the house. So
Mm.
Oh, where was
but
that?
I just out on the property out back. But Yang said that this is a very spiritual area as far as like nature spirits or whatever.
That's why I was
And
curious
so I'm
kind of about
not
the
I'm not
history of the
surprised.
land,
Yeah,
itself. Like what was here before this house and like what was the history background? Because we all encounter areas that were maybe spiritual lands before, and we deal with werewolves and stuff like
right,
that. So there's always potential that areas could be sacred like that or have a history.
right, exactly.
So
And
we need to be
that's
very aware of that. So that's why I was
yeah,
asking about this place. Could this place have a history on that?
right,
That's why they were interested here, because there's a
Oh,
hub of
that
energy
makes sense
nearby,
now.
right?
Okay, so they
right.
feel that
A
spiritual energy.
cairn.
Okay. But they don't want the wraith problem. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay.
Yeah, that's a separate
Sometimes I'm
thing.
a little slow. Okay.
The
You
the
know what? We're
spirits,
all a little bit out of our league. There's a lot of new stuff going on right now. So
That's for sure.
no shade. Is
Petra.
that what the kids say these days?
Hmm.
They say a lot of things.
I guess none of us would really know.
How many of those spirits did you see outside? Were
Jerome,
there a lot, or
did I notice?
He said
Uh,
they were like eating popcorn watching.
enough that it kind of blurred.
Okay, so like a crowd,
So you don't
like
know the
a
crowd.
like a
Dozen.
we should be worried kind of a crowd, or
But how would you determine that?
uh,
That's entirely a personal judgment call at that point.
I
You
guess
you
that's
don't.
true.
The only
Yeah,
experience
what's
you've
a
had with
crowd?
that type of spirit is your little friend.
Can I see him?
Yeah.
Is he? Um, I'm gonna turn to him and say,
Right now, he's just waiting on top of your car.
oh, I'm gonna turn. Okay, I'm gonna turn to him and say, are the spirits out there something that we should be worried about?
So you see him kind of like turn his head because you're a little ways away from him at this point. You guys aren't. You haven't quite driven away yet. So he skitters down the side of the. No one else sees this obviously, but you see him skitter down the side of the car and comes running up, and he because he can't vocalize, he hasn't like materialized or anything, and you can't speak to him on that level, anyways. He takes his tail and he points like he's trying to point a direction, and then he does like one of these numbers with his front two paws.
You don't know,
He shakes his head.
so you don't know if they're friendly or not. Okay. Maybe that's a Yang question.
were you just? Who were you just talking to?
Oh, wait, you can't see my lizard friend? He's
Oh,
like,
he's with you right now. I
yeah,
see
I
him.
mean, I went outside and he was there. So,
Oh,
yeah.
what does he think about the spirits? Did he?
He doesn't know.
Well, better than him being afraid, like we've seen him.
That's
So-
true. That is a good point.
Yeah, I feel like if
Um,
these things were malicious, we would be feeling that effect at this point, frankly, or we would see them coming at us or in
yeah,
some
probably
way.
true.
You know what I mean? Maybe they're just observing because there's honestly, with everything that's happened, there's a lot of uptick in that type of stuff. So
Maybe they're hoping we can finally evict a terrible spiritual
yeah,
neighbor.
maybe
then.
they're like, you know
Yeah.
what, their neighbors are like, you know what, this guy's a bad apple in our neighborhood. Get him out. You know.
I was just thinking about that. I wonder what the
The
interaction
spiritual
is
community is. Yeah.
between those two types of entities. You know what? Why don't we all get in the car? I'll take us
Right.
back to
Jerome, would I
quarters.
know that the Giovanni have that sort of kind of information as far as that
Not
Wraiths
on those
community?
not on those types of spirits that she's referring to, but on the wraith, yeah, they would
Okay.
be an authority to talk to about wraiths.
Would I potentially know any? I mean, I did work for the Giovanni with the car in the towing business.
You still do, technically.
And I still do, and I did have contract work. Okay, so that's something I'll check out then
Sure.
at some point. Okay.
All right, so you guys are heading back to the Night Watch Occult Solutions office.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you drive across town at that point. Joe, you end up getting a call.
What's my caller ID say?
It says D. Russo.
Oh my god, my brain is Rachel's brain's farting. Who's Russo again? My boss.
No. Russo is somebody that the Giovanni contact in the police department. The same person.
Oh.
The same person you burned your point of influence to get something from.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay, all right. Joe will answer and. Hey, Joe. Hey, what's up, Russo?
He says, "This Abernathy."
Yeah.
He says, "I was told you were looking for some information on, I guess a house fire or something."
Yeah. This guy, there's this report, and there's some. We just want to know some history. It's had some activity, and we're just kind of investigating a little bit. I just want to find out what happened, like with this report specifically, like the abuse, the fire, like what happened? I feel like there's some stuff that's here between the lines that I'm not seeing.
He says, "Well, the official report was that he died due to a gas main explosion from the stove."
Okay.
The notes that the detective had at the time indicates that there may have been potential child abuse.
Yeah.
Nothing was ever confirmed, but there were at least 3 calls prior to that happened at that particular address.
Okay.
But obviously the detective stopped the investigation once he died. We did catch there is a note that there was some damage to the side of his head. It was ruled that it was likely from the stove, but the stove was in such a mess that it really couldn't be determined.
Gotcha. What happened to the kids? And was there a mother involved?
No, mother passed away 5 years prior. So I believe the kids all went into foster care. I don't have anything beyond that, unfortunately.
Do you know how old the kids when they went to foster care? I mean, at least the oldest one.
Oldest one was 16 at the time. So he probably wasn't
male or female?
Male. And he wasn't in for long. The other 2, we just have ages listed, and they were 10 and 9.
Do you have names for the kids? Is there a birth record?
We don't. but that is information that could be obtained if you do like a genealogy search on Mr. Barnum.
Got it. Well, thank you. This has been extremely insightful and helpful. Okay, that's interesting. Anything else I should know before I pass this along?
No, this is all we have. So there isn't a whole lot else that I can come up with.
Okay. Well, you know what? You've done a lot. Thank you. Thank you for the prompt update and the information. So if there's anything I can do in favor, let me know.
I'll let you know. Now he just
All right.
hangs up.
So she'll hang up. And Joe will call Sly. I assume we left at this point, right? Or
You guys are all at
like, are we still in the same?
Yeah, you guys all drove to the office.
Oh, we're still together.
Yeah.
Okay. So at the office, I'll have stepped away for a moment to take the call, and I'll come back and I'll relay the same information that you heard. In that, so apparently, the kids apparently went into foster care after he died, but frankly, I think what happened was that he got hit with the skillet by the oldest one, and they left it, and then they broke something to get away, and then they left. I don't know. That's my theory. I know I've been watching too much some crime TV lately, but they can't pinpoint it on the fact that it was, the skillet that killed him or the gas. I mean, everything was just such a disarray, but frankly, it's a bit suspicious, if you ask me.
The fact that that skillet was intentionally put in that specific spot and it has that stuff on it, I think you're onto something. I don't know if it'd be one of the kids. It seems like...
I think he got hit. The kids, I think it was the oldest or one of the ones that the other kids were like 9 and like younger, but the 16-year-old, something happened.
A 16-year-old, okay.
Male, 16-year-old male was the oldest son, from my understanding. And the kids apparently went into foster care, but there's no names on but we can do a genealogy search apparently, like for like these, but the 2 youngest we may not be able to find. But there was a 16-year-old in the house, and I think something happened, and I think that the gas explosion was a cover-up. Because frankly, right. I mean, come on, let's think about it. Like, okay, if you start a fire with a gas stove, like all this, like that's a ticking time bomb. Enough for you to get your shit together and get out, and maybe not be there. Maybe you're being at school or something when something happens. I mean, I don't know. That's the theory.
I think you're onto something there. It does make sense. It fits the pattern. We know at least that they were being abused, so they were tired of the abuse one day.
They finally got tired of it.
He hit him on the back of the head, knocked him out, or killed him, set up the thing to explode. There were 3
separate reports prior to this incident happening.
All right. Yeah,
so there's a build-up to something happening.
Wait. So if they killed him with the iron and then set the kitchen on fire, or the kitchen caught fire and
I think they pulled the gas, they turned that stove on, and they set something to ignite. I think something happened.
But then why would they put the skillet in the wall? Wouldn't they have just left the skillet there? Like, the fire would have burned off the blood residue.
You're talking about kids. Would they figure out how to do this? And this could have been a crime of passion.
I mean, if a fire had destroyed the kitchen, wouldn't that also have, like, putting the skillet in the wall and papering over it? That would take a lot longer than just letting than like the time that it would take for a kitchen to burn.
When you pulled that out of the wall, did it seem like it was set in a very specific spot, or just in the wall?
Did it just fall? Oh, like it had been like flung into it as far as like fodder or
explosion.
whatever. Yeah, and then was embedded and they just covered it up. Like there is a difference between it being like set in a space, like between the 2x4s or whatever wood beams that are in between for the
What did it
structure.
feel like to you, Petra?
Yeah, Jerome, did I get any kind of sense of?
Dave posed some good questions. Why don't you give me a wits and investigations check as you kind of rack your brain?
Like, in what position did you find it? Vertical, like in between a wall, or angular, like it had been flung in there because of the explosion? They didn't realize that it was there. I mean, who knows?
One second.
Okay. You're not entirely
fine.
sure, but it could have been accidentally shoved up in there and just disregarded somehow, or maybe it fell behind. Maybe they tried to put it back and make it look like it was, pardon me, that it was just a part of the rest of the plates and whatever, and maybe it fell back into a gap in between the wallpaper.
Was it okay? So the cabinets themselves, were they like attached to the wall?
Mhm.
And so was there like the back of the cabinet against the wall, or was it just the wall?
It was just a
on
wall.
the inside.
Yeah, there's no set. The cabinets themselves are like 3/4. There's no actual wall there. It's the wall.
And
of the
then
place.
so then and did it seem like by the placement of the skillet was the cabinet blocking the skillet from coming out, or was it so maybe the position cabinets that you were had there
it at, the position that you found it at, there was almost no way for you to get it out without doing what you ended up doing,
without the cabinets coming off the wall,
or breaking the part of it that like you did.
So the cabinets covered it.
So the cabinets went on later.
Yeah, much later.
The house has been remodeled since that explosion. I got that info from the homeowner. So it would make sense that it was suddenly covered if nobody saw it and it was embedded in the wall somehow.
Yeah.
Okay. And I didn't really get a good feel for where considering I dug at it with a knife, I didn't really get a good idea of the.
We can probably find the original floor plans for this property. That's not difficult to find in records.
True.
No, I think it's
the
more,
fact that we see it now, that seems to be the
just saying a way to
crux of it.
confirm, like what was there maybe prior to the remodel. But it sounds like we figured it out, in that sense.
Do we have any access to somebody who can check the material that's on the pan, some sort of analysis that using chemicals or something?
I wonder if Charlotte could take a look at these. She's kind of an alchemist person. Charlotte?
Sure.
You could definitely give that to her next game.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Because if it is,
so we would have taken it with. You know what? I'm gonna put that in my little pocket for safekeeping.
The pan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
Okay, Rapunzel.
You know what? It worked.
You just put the murder pan in your cardigan?
I mean, they're not going to find it this way, right? We get pulled over, it's not going to spark any questions.
When we get pulled over. If we
I don't know why we'd get
we need
pulled
to
over,
can
but-
do the beer.
Yeah,
is what we're saying
not
when
if.
we get pulled over.
Right.
And you just put it in the cardigan.
When?
Fantastic.
Oh boy.
Okay.
All right. Well, we're cooking here. Good. So we have some things to look into. It seems that we have the story, but unfortunately, that still doesn't answer how we exorcise Elijah from the house.
I'm going to ask. I have some connections. I'm going to ask around discreetly about potential avenues on that. I mean, I'm gonna check a couple of things, but yeah, I'm gonna We'll see. We'll see. I just, when you call on a certain area, sometimes they ask a bit of a favor in return, and sometimes you don't want to owe favors. It's just not a good way to do business all the time. You know what I mean?
Understandable.
Looking at other avenues, you said the kids were 16, 10, and 9.
Is that
what it
right,
was?
Jerome? Yeah.
So how old would they be today? Maybe we can.
So this was in the 80s, the report, right? Or the reports, the 3 reports in general.
Do we have a more specific date, Jerome?
For the reports?
Oh yeah.
Besides the 80s.
Yeah. 1 second. The incident happened October 19th, 1984.
What? That's my birthday. I was 2.
I was a month old.
Okay. 1984. So today they would be
40.
Late 50s for the one who's 16. If they were 16 at that time.
In 84, yeah, like 40, yeah. Then
16,
46.
40.
They were 16.
So then 56 or 57.
Okay. I mean, it's worth looking into. Maybe there's some kind of a person of interest attached.
There's always a paper
these
trail.
age range.
There's always a trail. There has to be. So some genealogy that we got to look into. I just don't know, like, how much time we're looking at. Like, is there a deadline with this homeowner? Like, I mean, frankly,
The faster we do it, the better.
Well, I know that, but
in the next couple of days.
Unfortunately, a lot of this stuff is going to take some time to get some information back. That's why I worry. Like, I mean, pretty much they're at the mercy of when we can get our stuff figured out, right?
I suppose.
My thing is that I don't want to feel rushed and get things wrong. Like, I believe in quality, not quantity, in that sense. Like, I'm not gonna fast track fix a vehicle and expect to drive and expect to go 1,000 miles and not break down. I'm gonna make sure you get past that mark. It's just a thing. It's a personal pride quality thing. So I just want to make sure we're doing the right thing here.
So do we want to try to find that 16-year-old if they're still alive today? If we're assuming they'd be the perpetrator of this possible murder?
First I want to understand, like, okay, if we're supposed to find this relative, this progeny of this guy, like, why? Like, why do we want to bother this person who has gone through hell and high water to get out of this situation to come back?
That's kind of my question.
Like, why would I endure anybody that mental anguish?
Yeah, that's a fair question. As far as I'm concerned, if they did it, I think they've probably suffered enough, and
I feel like this spirit, this wraith is malevolent enough that I don't know if we should bother their next of kin with this. Like, it almost feels like this guy should just be like, GTFO out of this place and ban him. Like,
if something additional comes up that seems like it might be connected to the kids, then we've already got some of these building blocks ready to piece things together. That's all.
It seems right now we need to wait for Sean and see what he can tell us regarding if we can just simply deal with Elijah straight away, or if we need to do more work.
I'll ask as well. I mean, I don't know until you try. So, I mean, I feel like this is beneficial for us. That's all. So we'll look into it and go from there. Like, what else can we do? Frankly, this is the most action I've had in like the last month since trying to figure out my limitations at this point.
Yeah. Well, let's have a little rest and maybe think about this for a couple of hours and then head back.
Right.
How's that sound?
Excellent.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
And maybe
Okay.
if Charlotte's around, then we can hand her the skillet and see if she can do any preliminary investigation there.
All right. So I need. Where was I? Oh, it was different. Okay, never mind. So Sean ends up showing up at this point. He is in casual yet priestly attire. Got his collar and everything. So he comes walking in, and he sets down a small basket on the desk.
Oh, he didn't go to the house. He came to the
Office.
HQ.
Mhm.
Okay.
Because that's where you guys had been, so I'll just have him show up there.
Okay.
So he sets down a small little basket on the on the front desk, and he says, "One of our parishioners brought in brought in a pullover cake. So by all means, partake if you'd like."
Oh, that's very generous.
Oh, a
Thank
meeting.
you.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
it's left over from the AA meeting, but it's fantastic and it's still pretty fresh. So
Yeah, I'll try that.
it's about 2/3 still there, So
So I'll grab some paper plates from our kitchenette and bring them over.
okay. He says, "So you had questions about some ghost?"
Yeah, we're trying to see if we can get him out of the house. He there was a kerfuffle, and we got him to go away, but we're not sure if he's actually gone.
Well, if you know the individual's name and or you have an item that is important to them, that allows you to compel them
We have
or
both.
have a stronger.
Both.
Well, then you can. I wouldn't advise these particular darker arts, but I know my mother has some control in that particular area. You are supposed to be able to control them if you have enough of that information.
But control them and then do what exactly? I mean, the point is not necessarily to control them, but to basically banish them, get them out of this place, and just be gone forever.
Some exorcists often use that to invoke that specifically. Again, we don't know exactly what it's like on the other side, so it's hard to say if they are, when you quote unquote banish them, if they are destroyed or if they're just forced to flee. But in either event,
That's a weird gamble.
in either event, you're getting what it is that you're looking for, I suppose.
Well, Petra, do you think you can do that if you have the item and we know his name?
I suppose I could try it. Like I said, I haven't really done this before. So
Well, you don't know until you try. Trust
feel
me.
for it.
Like,
We'll
and
be there
if
to support
if
you.
at first you don't succeed, you're in good company.
Mom,
I'm going to repeat every post ever I saw growing up at this point.
Mom, might I ask that you create yourself a warding circle if you're going to attempt to do something like that?
Yeah, remind me how that works.
Well, the during the ancient Salem trials, that would be a circle of salt and your ward.
And I stand inside the
Correct.
circle?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like the big one you did on the house itself. and just on you with some salt.
Okay. And that's to do what?
To prevent them from interacting directly with you.
Oh, right.
Yeah, didn't you ever watch Practical Magic? You just
Well, you
circled
know,
around in the brooms and then it worded out. It worked.
Didn't-
It worked.
I didn't assume that it was a primer in, actual thaumaturgical practice.
Hmm.
You know how movies are.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, I can try that. Do you want to come with us?
Are you attempting to do it today?
You know what? Maybe we ought to. We've got time. I think the wards will hold for a week or two, something like that. Maybe we should have a little longer of a rest. I think it probably took a lot out of us this afternoon.
Okay, well, if that's the case, let me know ahead of time, and then I will clear my schedule and accompany you.
Okay, that'd be really helpful. Thank you, sweetie.
Not a problem. And that's where we'll go ahead and stop for the evening here. And so the next game will be like the next day, so it will be a daytime lapse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Figured.
so we have RP votes. So we're going to start off with Dale.
Let's see. I'm gonna go with Joe. Lots of good info. Keeping up with trying to figure things out. I liked it.
Okay, Brittany.
I also thought Joe did a good job working in some of those new abilities.
Okay,
Thank you.
cool. Rachel.
I'm gonna go with Brittany. I liked her kind of like the warding bit. Like we didn't know she could do that, which is great. Now she's even expanded on it now with doing the warding circles, and I really enjoyed that too. Dale, I want to give honorable mention because I mean you did great too. But
yeah,
Cool.
did.
yeah, thank you.
Pretty did a good job.
All right, well, congrats, folks. That is the game. So, Rachel, you've got the RP vote, so give yourself another 2 on your
Sweet.
character sheet.
Woohoo.
And tomorrow will be Marvel Superheroes at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So looking forward to that. And those of you who are hanging out and watching us, on the 9th of July, we are going to be back with Survivor's Dawn. So we're going to find out what happens there. And will a rescue mission be taking place? So it'll be interesting to find out. So we're going to sign off from here. And Shelly said that was a very good game. She hung out with us all night.
Yay.
Oh, sweet.
And
Miss you, Shelley.
we will catch you guys all again next time. Good night, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
There we go.